Well, lucky I didn't just put this video out straight after recording it because new information has come out that changes this video quite a bit. The initial title was going to be Creepshow Art and that Amy Lie or something like that. That was like the working title. But with the new information provided, it seems as if that isn't an accurate title anymore. The majority of the video does still stand though, so I'll start with that. This video isn't going to bring anything new to the table for the most part, outside of the new information which you may not have heard. But I'd seen the idea floating around since Shannon's video, and I want to talk about it more in depth as I don't think I mentioned it in my first video about Shannon's response video. First of all, let me briefly run you through who Amy allegedly is. I also want to preface that this video is not to discredit anyone or anything like that. It's taking a story at face value and comparing it to what else is available. I'm also aware of Emily Artful's claims surrounding the Amy situation, and this video is also not to discredit that. Searching Creepshow Art Amy is a bit messy and doesn't yield me results prior to the drama. What does exist is a video I was stalked for 8+ years from 2019, which is nearly an hour long. Unfortunately, a breakdown of that video isn't something I could easily find, but the video does exist. It's about someone called Amy. Quite a while to my knowledge it wasn't questioned, until everything happened. It also makes sense that it wasn't questioned because Shannon was seen as a reputable source at the time. The comments also seem to paint the picture that when it's now compared to Emily's allegations against Shannon, that it seems like a lot of projection. In the fact that some things Emily claims happened to her are similar or in some cases almost the same thing that Shannon claims were done to her by Amy. Amy was once again mentioned during the Lockout saga. To break it down or in some cases refresh your memory, I will read a breakdown of it. The full post is really long and not fully relevant to the conversation or this video or the Amy thing. This comes from a website. It says, after Lockout shared her alleged post history, Shannon took to the YouTube community tab to respond to these allegations. The post is lengthy and detailed, but in summary, the creator claims that she's been the victim of a stalker named Amy for nearly 10 years. Throughout the post, Shannon details her traumatic experience with Amy and alleges that Amy has been using her IP address, writing, she's been posting on certain sites, posing as me, spoofing my IP, doxing my family members, writing things about myself and my friends, sending me death threats from other accounts, making false accounts to spam my comment section, spamming the comment sections of my friends saying hateful things about me in order to get them to drop me, and just all around doing what she did years ago. Shannon said she'll be taking legal action against Amy. I completely understand if no one believes me. I understand if I lose friends over this. I'm going to keep the rest of this offline where it belongs, so if you have any questions, I'm sorry I'm not answering them, but I want to address it, she finishes. Before we go on, this was initially going to be part of the first video, or the first draft of this, the script, and I cut it out, but I just kind of want to really address it. I'm not the best at finding public court records or whatever, but I couldn't find any record of Shannon taking legal action against anyone. As I said, I'm not the best at it. I just searched, I think, Pacer mainly. I did find one record of filing for bankruptcy, so there's that, but outside of that, I couldn't find anything. As you may have figured out from earlier, the point of this video is not to discuss the legitimacy of that post. Some people have debunked different aspects of it, or tried, and really, I don't believe it as a whole. There's too many unlikely factors involved. In fact, what I want to talk about wasn't actually mentioned in what I just read, but I'll refer back to the relevant part of the post when I talk about the next thing, which is Shannon's latest video where she briefly talks about Amy and shows some emails that she had with Amy. Here's some of the section of that video where she shows the emails, which is the whole point of this video I'm making. You can probably see where this is going, but before that I just want to say a couple of things. The username/email address in those screenshots does in fact link back to Shannon. A simple Google search will show you that. I wasn't sure if her or Amy were Green Angel, but Shannon is Green Angel. There was talk about the inconsistencies revolving around the sign-off that the other person had in the emails, and the fact that they sign off the emails as Amy, which was seen as an issue because Shannon had previously stated that she called her Amy, but that's not her real name, and she changed it to protect her identity. Here's a screenshot from the post, which says, I was stalked for over 8 years by a woman I called Amy. That's not her real name because I was protecting her identity. In the original version of this video script, I did say, although emails implied that this makes no sense, and while I agree that technically Amy may have had another name, and Amy was just a false name that she went under at the time or due to her age or whatever, Shannon signs off emails as Shannon, which doesn't play into Shannon's favour in the argument. But new information has been provided via Nicholas Theorio video, which is a draft of Shannon's video, allegedly. It's quite a bit longer than the actual end product, and actually does go more in depth about Amy. I don't know if it was cut down for legal reasons or to try and make it more free-flowing, but yeah. It also answers questions that I had in this video initially that I've kind of cut out, and also some of the stuff I've spoken about in this video as well. So let me read it to you. I don't know what the legal standings are of actually saying the person's name, so I'm going to edit the screenshot and call them S. This part is going to be brief, but Amy is no reference to Emily. Amy is the name I gave to the girl who used to harass me online. His real name is S, who I originally met on stardoll.com when I was in middle school. As I say in the video, S did not grow up in San Jose with me. We never knew each other personally. She was someone I strictly knew online who lived states away from me. Emily tried in her video to state that the video was secretly about her, that I was setting her backstory up to one day say that she was actually Amy, and by simply calling her Amy, I was referencing her because, according to her, I was trying to lay breadcrumbs online and trying to paint Emily as a malicious stalker. This is not the case, and also very stupid. The video I put up, which is still up, has various details about Amy, or S, whatever name you want to call her, that don't match with Emily. It would also make no sense for me to say that Emily and I were friends online or ever, seeing as I never knew her outside of being a friend of some friends and one of my boyfriend's exes from before I even had a crush on him. Amy is the name that I chose for the girl who harassed me because she and I would often talk about how we loved Amy Lee from Evanescence. I believe I say that in my video. It was between that and Sarah because of our mutual love of Sarah Brightman. But I chose Amy because Sarah sounds close to Shannon and I didn't want to confuse anyone. So, based on that, if that's true, which, as with everything else in this video, I'm taking at face value, that solves the Amy thing. So, who's S? Well, I mean, the script does state S's real name, but that may be the last that we hear about it. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of leaks and stuff, as people are calling them, in that Nicholas Theorio video and that script. There's a whole bunch of new information and stuff, and there's some people kind of called out and stuff. Yeah, because it's over 100 pages, I think. So yeah, if you find it, if you want to read it, it's entirely up to you, but yeah, not where I thought things were gonna go. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day, and peace.